Shout out Treasy. It's real shit. Hey. I miss you. I miss you. I miss you. I miss the real you. I miss you. I miss you. I miss you. I miss the real you. It sucks to see you change up. I wish you didn't get famous, turned into a stranger, just to keep your name up. I miss you. I miss the real you. I don't feel you. Give me back the real you. Give me back the real you. Matter of fact, fuck that, I'll be fine. I should've known you were never gon' ride. Long live you, cause to me you died. No, you can't call when the sun don't shine. When you got nobody by your side. Headed to the floor, can't hit rewind. Be about yours, I'ma be about mine. Loyalty don't cost a dime, but you don't know nothing about that, do you? You don't even come to the hood no more. You feeling all no. You don't even shout your people out. I miss you. I miss you, I miss you, I miss the real you. Hey, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you, but I miss the real you. It sucks to see you change up. I wish you didn't get famous. You turned into a stranger just to keep your name up. But I miss you, I miss the real you. I don't feel you. Give me back the real you. Give me back the real you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. It's Pastor the Original again on the Originaels. Yeah. It's our live broadcast. So today I just wanted to do quite a very interesting topic that caught up in my mind, and I was preparing this, and it's gotten to my mind, that during this lockdown, during this challenging times, you see, most of the people are not coping with it well, you see. So I just want people to know that they shouldn't be victim of their environment. They shouldn't be controlled by these circumstances, you see. So as I was doing my research and everything, you see, I came across some things that people should take into consideration at these times, you see, because the way I believe it, the way I see it, these are amazing times, you see, because in order for us to wake up, we need a wake-up call. And if you can frame the circumstances to see that this is an opportunity for everybody to pause and retreat from their lives, and by removing the constant stimulation in the external environment that reminds them of who they think they are as a personality. You see, if you take a look, people now are not going to the same places or not seeing the same people. They are not doing the same things, and they are actually confined to kind of a personal retreat in the comfort of their own home. You see, now what I've realized is that the beauty behind this is who you are going to emerge as, and show the conditions in our environment are causing us to be uncertain, and in uncertainty, when things we can't predict, certain things we move we move from the predictable into this realm called the unknown. And if we're truly going to make a difference in the world, we have to be creative, you see. But I've realized that the problem is when we are threatened by circumstances in our external environment, and our response to those circumstances cause us to move into a very primitive state of response. from the autonomic nervous system that drives the body into what's called the sympathetic response, or fight or flight response. You see, so in that emergency mode, the brain and the body go into an alarm state because there's a threat or a danger that we are perceiving in our outer environment. Now for the short term, you see, that's quite okay. You see, that's okay because all organisms can cope with short-term stress. You see, but if our response to the environment is keeping that stress response going on for an extended period of time, because we all know that stress is when both brain and body are knocked out of homeostasis. Stress is when the brain and body are knocked out of balance. That's what it actually means. You see, that's how you get stress. You see, so people, when they react to a circumstance that are unpredictable or that are uncertain, that they can't control or outcome or know the outcome or control the outcome, or they have the perception that things are going to just get worse. You see, that the exact motive that turns out that fight or flight response, you see, now it causes stress, because most of the people now in this quarantine lockdown mode, you see, they're thinking now ahead, okay, will the president continue his lockdown again, extend his lockdown? Will I get this coronavirus? And you see, they're thinking of the worst case scenario, you see, because of these circumstances that we're falling under. So now, when the person is living in fear, you see, they are mobilizing enormous amount of energy for some danger in their outer world. You see, that's what the people don't realize now. You see, that fear, you see, that fear that what is going to happen next. You see, they can't see that now they're putting that amount of energy, a very large amount of energy, you see, for the danger that they encounter in an outer world. Now, there's only a certain amount of energy in the body, you see, and if there's no energy in the inner environment for growth and repair, we become more susceptible to the condition in our outer environments. In other words, our response in fear and aggression and frustration and pain and suffering actually weakens the organisms, you see. So now, in these times, we need to become conscious about our relationship with our body. We have to become aware that we are amazing human beings that come fully loaded with an immune system that combats cancer cells, funguses, and molds that happen on a moment-to-moment basis. You see, that's what people don't understand. That's how our body is created. Our body is so powerful that the immune system can actually fight these diseases. You see, because even these viruses and these diseases only wants a habitat. You see, it's like a person that doesn't have a home that wants a home. You see, because we know a virus cannot survive out of its host. So it's need and habitats to live in. So now our immune system can combat all these viruses and cells and bacteria. You see, when this happens on a moment basis. So now let me just give you an example. So let's just say in your normal life, you are reacting to a traffic, or you are reacting to a co-worker, you are reacting to the news, or your response to any one of those circumstances in your outer environment cause you to feel some of those limited emotions. You see, so I say to you, why are you angry? Why are you frustrated? Why are you in pain? So if you say unconsciously or even consciously, it's the traffic, it's the news, it's my coworker that's making me feel and think this way. What you are probably saying, or what you are really saying, is that you are vulnerable to an environment because something in your outer world is actually controlling that and influencing how you think and feel. You see, so anything that's controlling you, or you have no control over, or think you have no control over, you are a victim of your environment. And it is that consciousness that causes us to become more susceptible to anything in our outer environments, you see. And so the immune system becomes compromised, the internal system, you see, of our internal environment that's responsible for metabolism, assimilation, growth, and repair. So another research that I've done shows that fear and those stress hormones actually suppress the immune response. But if people understood how powerful the immune system really is, that is, if they traded that fear for gratitude. And I know that there's okay, how can I put this? And there may not be a lot of things to be grateful for, you see. But if you live in a survival, you see, you limit your possibilities. What I'm trying to say is that be grateful of anything, you see, because some people just can't think of anything, a lot of things that they may be grateful for. So don't live in that survival mode, you see, because that's where you limit your possibility, you see. Because in stress and in survival, you will only begin to select scenarios in your mind to prepare for the worst thing that could ever happen. You see, now that's a kind of limited imagination, but if you trade that emotional state for elevated emotion like love or wholeness or inspiration or gratitude or thankfulness, research shows that by converting from that sympathetic nervous system and teaching the body that it is safe in the present moment and beginning to activate elevated emotions, if you just practice that for 10 minutes a day, for 2 or 3 times a day, that your immune system will strengthen by 50%. You see, that's a significant amount of change. Now, that's saying once you activate this center called your heart center, your center of oneness, your center of wholeness, the union of opposites. This is where we begin to create from. This is when we are in a state of creation. You see, we are seeing possibilities that we have never seen before. You see, so now we are no longer victims of our environment. We are now coming up with solutions that cause us to respond in greater ways to our environment. That once that energy makes it to the center, that little gland that sits right next to your heart, called the thymus gland. Thymus mean time. You see, like a time leaf has 2 functions. You see, this time leaf has 2 functions. It has a chronological function, which makes growth hormone, which is the fountain of youth. You see, that's what causes response and repair quickly in the body and regeneration. You see, and then it has an immunological function, and it releases a chemical called thymosin, and when activated, thymosin signals T cells in your body. I'm going to end this podcast, but continue it.